Hello, I'm the official name rater. My job is to look through the first page of Google, review the nicknames spread by the internet, and then give my recommendations at the end. Today we're looking at the box legendary of Scarlet, Koraidon. Not Miraidon, just Koraidon by itself. Miraidon will get his own episode here in a second. There's two jokes in this comment, and I'm okay with it. So for starters, he just refers to the Koraidon and Miraidon as a bike, which, that's a nice little joke because that is effectively what it is. Which also, I remember reading someone saying that Koraidon and Miraidon don't feel like legendaries because there's nothing unique or special about them. They're just at the wrong place at the wrong time, and that's it. But as far as I guess, that's an interesting idea because I don't think we've ever come across anyone who's like, well, I named it after the cry that they have written in text in game. That is an idea because that's the noise that the game interprets their cry as. Like, they don't put Karai or Mirai or anything like that. They just do that, which fuck knows why. Yeah, because it doesn't seem to have a different name in Japanese here. Still Koraidon. Still Miraidon. So I don't know how we got to this, but if you wanted to do that, there's an idea for you. It's at least different and unique, I'll give you that. Toothless! Yep, we haven't seen that a billion fucking times already. Now, I feel like I remember this from the Dialga and Palkia episode, and I don't have a problem with that. I think that's fine. I think the problem that I probably mentioned in that was just the fact that Dialga and Palkia are such fucking weird-ass names that I don't recommend it for that. But I think in the instance of like any other box legendary, you could probably get away with it. And this was another thing I was thinking about as well. I was just taking a walk and preparing myself to record this episode. Iron Serpent and Winged King? I thought it was Winged Crown. Hold on. It says Winged King. I thought it was Winged Crown. I don't know why. Anyway, that is their code names in the same way of like Iron Hands or Brute Bonnet, which is why people argue that those Pokemon should have official names. So if you want to do Iron Serpent or Winged King, those would work and it would make sense, kind of like the Ultra Beasts with their code names. Alternatively, I was thinking about this. If Karai and Mirai are meant to be prefixes that refer to the future and the past, you could also use that same naming thematic for the other Paradox Pokemon, because they effectively have the same name, just one is past, one is future, right? So you could do like Karai Fan and Mirai Fan for Dawn Fan, for Great Tusk and Iron Treads, if you wanted to do that. Granted, it's not Karai Lazar and Mirai Lazar, so it's a little bit different, but it's the same basic concept if you want to try and take this idea and maybe expand it a little bit further. Okay, so I stopped watching Yu-Gi-Oh! After the Battle City arc. I know that they did Yu-Gi-Oh! On motorcycles. I think it was like 5Ds or something like that. So I'm oddly okay with this idea. I don't think I would use Yusei because I feel like that's just some generic Japanese bitch name that's probably like David or something like that. But if you wanted to call it Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds or find some other unique way of tying it to the series, I think that's a good idea. I would also probably put it on Miraidon instead of Koraidon because I feel like Yu-Gi-Oh! Kind of has more futuristic appeal to it. Also, this is a bad idea, but I feel like you could kind of maybe make it work together because we're seeing bike a lot. You could name one Harley and the other Davidson. Then you could get your Harley-Davidson joke out of the way, and it could kind of work because they work together, and they're different enough Pokemon to where I suppose you could like put them on the same team and maybe not shoot yourself in the foot. Mushu we see every now and again. I don't really have a problem with that. It's just there. It's Mulan. Now, I don't know if I would go this far, especially because they put Kuro and not Turo, but if you want to reference Professor Sada or Professor Toro, they would be the closest thing to signature trainer for Koraidon and Miraidon, if you want to use them as an example. I'm going to go ahead and highlight this real quick because this talks about Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds. And maybe something here stands out to you a lot better. Dual Runner is not a bad choice if I were to pick something like that. Out of this list, Dual Runner sounds kind of nice. I kind of hate how you could argue Clifford fits Koraidon based off the fact that they are both red, big red, and have a similar personality. I hate that that makes sense. I also, as a Scarlet owner, have a very hard time imagining Miraidon acting the exact same way that Koraidon does. Like, I feel like it fits Koraidon's dopey-ass personality, but Miraidon I have a harder time imagining. Alright, this one's another Transformers thingy that I had to click on to understand. Is the transition gone yet? Great. Opening. This is what he looks like. And he's got another G1. So, if that appeals to you, cool. I know nothing about it. Drakon is just dragon with a K. If you name this, release your Koraidon, because you don't deserve it. This is a terrible name. Godzilla will acknowledge I see kaiju stuff all the time. It's fair. Do I think there's better places for it? Probably, but I'm not going to really argue or waste my energy talking about it. I think if we were going to put Ridley somewhere, I would actually think it would be better on Miraidon, but I think you could maybe argue Mecha Ridley. Doragon! It's dragon, but we added an O to it. That's how you know it's cool. That's how I know you're fucking shit at naming anything. Slifer the Sky Dragon will not fit. Slifer will. That one's fine. It is also red. Falcor, we looked at, like, what, the fucking Salamence episode recently? So that's fresh on my mind on Neverending Story. Igneel, I remember. What is this from? I don't recognize it, but I recognize this picture and me being like, oh yes, I have Googled this once, so I will highlight that. I just think Igneel is a bad name because I think I expect it to look like an eel. That's it. That's my only complaint. But if it means something to you, cool. I also kind of want to highlight this one just because Dread, and you could use Dread as a Binding of Isaac Bayonetta style nickname. This one we saw in the Cyclozar episode, and just a reminder, you can do a past, present, and future motif. This is a good example. If you don't want to do that, that's fine. I get it. But if you can think of something like this, and you can tie all three of them together, that's cool as fuck. I feel like this is a Yu-Gi-Oh card. Dark Souls 3? That was close. I'll acknowledge Braveheart, I guess. We've seen it in the past before. Do I think it fits? I mean, I suppose in the sense that it's a fighting type. That's about it. Berserker is one that I just fucking can't because the year 2010 and all those stupid-ass zombie games all fucking loaded on the same time just ruin that shit for me, so I can't ever like it. Red King, alternatively, you could switch it to King Crimson. That's going to sound better and be referential to something else. Asgore as a name isn't bad, but isn't Asgore like a goat? So maybe put that somewhere else. If you want to do that, maybe like Calyrex. Alright, well, things devolved here at the end. This is talking about how to, like, unlock its things by the Titan Pokemon. That's what they're called, right? Something like that? Yeah. This is just a dude wanting to trade. Could have gone anywhere, but alright, Facebook. This is actually just empty. Koraidon's not even on there. I don't know why that's there. That's a Koraidon, and then it's toothless. That was it. And then here's a video we're not going to click. He has to put it in all caps lock just so he compensates for the fact that he has a small penis. And that's about it. Now, I feel like the takeaway here that I want to highlight, because I'm not going to say it was a bust. I actually feel like compared to some of the other legendaries that we've covered, it's actually been better. Like, I feel like this is superior to the Dialga episode, if I were to guess. I don't know. I haven't watched the Dialga episode, but we're up to 21 minutes of recording. The one that I really want to highlight is just the whole Winged King thing, because I feel like that's strong. The 5D stuff I thought was strong. I also was thinking about it, and I forgot who the fuck it was. I think it was like Toyota or something like that. They're making a real-life Miraidon motorcycle, which I think is cool as hell, but again, that's probably better left on a Miraidon nickname. I know we talked about it probably in the Cyclozar episode. So there's another idea for that. We do have a few comment suggestions. Wow, holy shit. Chaotic put Flintstones. That's surprising. And I'm not saying that in a disrespectful way, but the fact that he had this idea, I don't remember him putting Simpsons for Cyclozar, but he had the same mindset as that other dude on GameFAQs. That's pretty cool. Wing King, that's canon. Aegeus is canon, apparently. And Primal Scales. Primal Scales doesn't sound too bad. I'm not going to try and pronounce it, but I will leave it up there for you. He's got a lot going on as to why he came up with this nickname, so if that appeals to you, there's another one. Primal Scales, that was also there. You guys watch the same person, or is that just coincidence as well? Alright, well that's that. I don't nickname legendaries, so I don't have a choice. But again, if you can think of a way to, tie them all together, that's a cool idea. Any other ideas and suggestions you have, feel free to put in the comments below. Give a thumbs up to the ones you think are good. Let us know what you'd use and recommend. And I guess if I were to ask for one additional thing, I might have already asked. Which version did you get? Did you get Scarlet or Violet? I was a Scarlet guy, and it's crazy because in order to get both Pokemon, I have to play through the game a second time and get another Koraidon so I can trade that with my brother for a second Miraidon. That took a while.